And hello, everybody, and welcome to In School. It is a podcast that focused on high school, university, collegiate athletes participating in SSNS as well as AUS, ACAA collegiate, and even students that are participating in trade schools playing other sports. My name is Dan Hobson, and as you can see, my guest here this week is attending South Colchester Academy. He's part of the South Colchester Academy Wolves D2 basketball team. They're going to be playing in the regionals tomorrow. And he's also a track and field athlete, into a lot of sports, but he's excelling in one particular sport. We're not going to let the cat out of the bag right now, but we want to say hello to Waylon Countway. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks. So, as I said, we've got the regionals tomorrow. It's a busy day, pretty much across the province, thanks to the weather.
Yeah.
Your thoughts hours away from the championships taking place in Amherst tomorrow?
Um, I mean, it is a big day considering it is my grade 12 year, and I mean, not just me but my whole team. I think we're pretty excited. We did a lot of work building up to it, so I feel like that we'll be more than ready to perform. I feel
Yeah,
like it's going to be.
sorry about that. Didn't mean to cut you
You go.
off. Yeah, I would say that I was at your guys' tournament. You haven't had a chance to play a lot of home games in Brookfield. So, if you guys win the D2 Northumberland Regionals tomorrow, you'll be hosting the provincials in Brookfield. So, and of course, you're only a hop, skip, and a jump away from where the school is. So, how big would it be to have the D2 provincial championships in your own backyard?
It it would mean a lot to our community and me because hosting provincials is it's such a big like such a big thing to do, and my I know that there's a lot of people behind the scenes that go on to help make that happen, and like our families, they're there to help set up like with our canteen, and I know that there'll be a lot of supporters there in such a small like town. And the only time that I think we've ever hosted provincials in my like personal experience was volleyball 2 years ago.
I
So
know.
this would be
Yeah.
big.
Yeah, it would be big because the thing is that South Colchester Academy is doing very well on the athletic scene here this year. Boys baseball Division Two provincial championship. Believe
Yeah.
there was some volleyball championships, as you mentioned. Like they've had a really successful girls program that Paul Thistle used to coach a few years back. So all of a sudden, there's got to be some excitement. There's got to be a vibe going into school. Am I right in that? What is the feeling right now in South Colchester Academy of how things are going?
Yeah, absolutely. There is a vibe. We've already had a few home tournaments at our own school, and there's been a few during school, and there's been a lot of people coming down during classes, and even not even like even when school's past, people like to stay, and they pack the gym sometimes, and the energy's there, the support's there from the school, and it means a lot to the players, and I think that that'll have a big play in provincials,
Yeah,
and it's
sorry, we're cutting
no
each
worries.
other off tonight. I don't mean to do that, but anyway, so go ahead. You finish
All
there.
right. I was just gonna say that I think that that's gonna translate from our home tournaments to provincials, and I hope that we're gonna have a lot of fans there as well.
Yeah, it would be fantastic because I can't remember in quite a long time. Like I'm just only like 10 minutes away from South Colchester Academy in Green
Yeah.
Oaks, Nova Scotia. So I can't remember such a long time where there was a provincial championship possibly being at the school. Of course, you have to play the games tomorrow, but you're looking pretty good. I've had a chance to see you a couple of weeks ago. You're looking pretty good for that, and maybe they could say that you're one of the odds-on favorites taking on Amherst and Northumberland. Just three teams taking place in the Northumberland regions, but just seeing the thing, like you even got this sign outside of the school that it's South Colchester Academy Wolves, and I think that that is relatively new within this year. Am I right in that?
Yeah, I think so. When my first day back for grade 12 year, I noticed that the big sign. Usually there was nothing on it, but they definitely made that new addition, and it pops out.
Yeah,
It's
that's
very noticeable.
Yeah, it stands right out. Like you're going right down. Like if people have ever been to Brookfield, you're going like right towards the school, and you go by like Carter Road, where you're turn down to the other famous Elk Park and Don Henderson Memorial Sportsplex. You see it, it sticks out like, and it looks beautiful. So now
Yeah.
we're going to talk to you about what type of athlete you are. Are you like a pepper pot? Are you like a quiet leader? Tell us about what type of personality you are when you're playing your sports.
Um, I I try to be a motivator. I'm not really a quiet athlete. Usually in sports, I like to bring other people up, and I like to communicate a lot. So I definitely put myself as a motivation giver, or I try to, and I talk more than I don't. So I feel like I'm definitely more of a louder athlete.
Yeah, so and as you said, like beef this being grade 12, that this is pretty much whatever, however this season ends for you is your last run. So I know I'm sort of going a little bit off script with here this, but what are some of the memories that you had playing for SCA?
Um, I mean, I've had a lot in like going back. I had even with the 3-on-3 hockey for our junior high. That was a great year for me. My grade 9 year. I remember we won the banner there. And that was a lot of fun. And also my grade 9 year for basketball, we also won the banner there as well. And last year for basketball as well, we won the regional banner, and I'm hoping to take same that same step with this year's regionals.
Yeah, as I said, that will be taking place tomorrow. So hey, may want to pop me an email message to tell me how you make out. You don't mind doing
Yeah,
that, do you?
absolutely.
All right, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course I said the we talked about you as an athlete, but also the importance of young athletes making your own path. Because when people talk to me about Waylon Countway, they say, well, that's Wyatt's brother. Your brother plays defense for the Truro Bearcats Maritime Hockey League, and it's looking like you're going to go a completely different path than he is in his athletic career. Describe the importance that is to you.
Um, I mean, I like to like for hockey for me. I tried it and I really enjoyed hockey, but it's just like I was playing junior B this year with the junior B Elks, but with my commitments to school and my other sports, I had a more passion in my other sports, and I feel like I will excel a lot more in what I'm doing now than hockey.
Yeah, because the like where I was going with this is that there was always like I want to bring up the Mickey Fox, who was a basketball player for SMU, and he had a couple of children, and his daughter did play for St. Mary's, but his son Casey decided to take his talents to Acadia and then Dalhousie. We see a lot of that these days, and you basically are basically doing what makes you happy and not really following the steps of brothers and families and that. So that's
Yeah.
really important there, I think, to you. So now we're going to go another path here and talk about track and field for you. Like all of a sudden, you've got this brand new track facility that's almost close to being ready there in Truro. So you must be excited about the possibility of training and then the SSNS Track and Field Championships in Bridgetown this year.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I know a few of my friends have been talking about. We've been driving by and seeing the new track, and we're really hoping that it's ready this year. Because there's always one thing that I dread most of track season, and I think it's the wind. I think it's up in Pictou area where the track that we usually go to, and the wind there is always very terrible, and it's very cold. So I feel like a change of scenery would be nice to have it in Truro. I feel like it would be very enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, I never remembered about the wind, but then when you brought it up, I was thinking about how it's just like just howling, like it's almost like 365 days of wind there, and you're running in the wind. So yeah, okay. So basically, go over a little bit of the goals for track and field this upcoming season.
Um, this last season, I went a new route. Usually, I've never done throwing before, but last year I decided to try discus, and I was enjoying it in practice a lot. But I don't think that I did as well I thought I was gonna do in competition. I don't know if it was because I was nervous or what it was, but I feel like I'm gonna try to do that again this year, and I would definitely want to do way better than I did last year.
All right, sounds fantastic. So, here we are. We're going to let the cat out of the bag about what that other sport that you are doing very well in. And it's definitely interesting for me. Combat sport. So, I guess, how did you get involved with that? And how'd the conversation go with your mother and father saying, hey, I want to get into combat sport?
I mean, I'd like to say it was me that said that I wanted to get into combat sports, which it was, but combat sports was it was always like growing up. It was throughout my family. Like my dad was a fighter. My sister, my oldest sister, she's 25 now. She went down to New York and fought for, it was North American something. She won a big belt for it, and she was really good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and her growing up and doing that, and Wyatt also did a little bit, my brother, that it really, I feel like it grew on me, and then I kept on going in and training with my dad, and my dad's actually my coach.
Wow.
So he is my trainer, so I feel like the talk with my parents is pretty one-way of, they're pretty supportive of what I do, and I really enjoy that, and I like that a lot.
Well, that came quite interesting to me, because it's like sometimes a lot of people that get into combat sport, it's that first conversation is usually the hardest. But if you're saying it's in the family, that's basically you can't really go. There's real no surprise. It's like you learned from them, and now you're just basically becoming like a second, third generation combat fighter. So basically, that should probably attracted you to the sport, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was. There's the club that I train at. It's Marmac Athletics, just in Churro, and I've been going there ever since I can remember, really. But when I was really young, my dad would take me in, and my mom would go in as well, and we were there in this place, me and my brother, and it was too young to remember now, but we would just play there, and ever since I've been growing up, we just been keep on going, and then now I'm in the classes with the adults, and we're just training. And it's definitely grown on me.
Was there any persuasion from your folks to get into this, or did it just something that you just grew up with it?
I think I kind of grew up with it. They're like, I definitely they wouldn't push me if I didn't want it to. Like, it was definitely my decision, and I wanted to do it.
And do it, and you're doing it quite well. You're having a lot of success in it. So can you tell us what's been that key? I guess you could say family influence has helped, but there's probably been also maybe some other instructors. Like you said, your dad's a coach. Was there other people that you've also learned and met that you've made you grow into how you're doing very well with it now?
Yeah, definitely. There's I really got into the combat sports when it was 2 years ago. There was a buddy that came over from Spain. He was an exchange student at my school, and he got really interested in it as well. And then that's when we started going consistently. And there's a few people at the club. They're higher ranking than me. Like they're way better at it, and they're all great personality. They're all like very welcoming, and they're there to help you learn and like build off of your mistakes. And I find just the atmosphere in the club is very very, very good, very friendly, very welcoming.
So, of course, you're undefeated in your age group from what I hear, and you're now taking on men.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Is there a little bit of, I guess wouldn't be fear. Would it be fear going up into an age bracket because, they're going to be bigger, faster, stronger sort of thing?
I think my first time bumping up in age was it was definitely a little bit fearful. I think I was more nervous than actual fear, because it's a whole different level of competition. Like, they're much stronger, more athletic, and a lot more experience. And I think I was very nervous, but overall I think I was ready for it, and I had a lot of confidence going in, a lot of training, and I feel like I was ready, and it was good. Yeah.
So, of course, earlier I asked about, when you had the conversation, of course, it was a family thing. So, are they concerned about you getting hurt going up into
Um,
like the men's side of things?
my dad being my coach he's I think they are concerned, but I don't think that they're worried of it happening because like the martial arts sports that I'm in, it's very very controlled and very safe. Like the refs that are always there, they're super high level and like they're very skilled in what they do, so they're always there to jump in at the right moment. And there's a lot of sportsmanship in it as well. Like no one's going in there to actually hurt them, so there's no real intent of going to try to like break someone's arm, for example. Like they're pretty nice, and after every match we always shake hands and hug each other. Like it's pretty friendly, so I don't think they're too worried.
How does the people at school and some of your basketball teammates feel about you being in combat sports? What's some of the interesting conversations that you have?
I feel like a lot of them they overlook it a little bit, but I get teased a little bit sometimes. Like there's like some conflicts, and it's like don't want to mess with Waylon and stuff like that. But I feel like I would never do anything to them. Never try to hurt them in any way. So, but there's been some friendly like I feel like I could take him on, stuff like that, and just a lot of laughs.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got a big event coming up, nation's capital. So, and tell everybody all about it.
It's called an ADCC. So it's kind of like a qualifier match, and usually they have them in the capital, so they would have them in Ottawa, and it's everyone from like different provinces. They can come to it, and they can come to it from like even like people from the U.S. and people from Europe, like all over the world. They travel to them, and massive tournaments. And I think it's number one or top two, like of your bracket. So I would be in the juvenile bracket, and if I win my bracket, then I can transition to what's called an Abu Dhabi, and that's like worlds. So if I was to win this ADCC or place top two, I would have an opportunity to go to the Abu Dhabi and compete for a much bigger title. And I feel like I'm pretty nervous for the match in Ottawa. I'm because it's a lot more competition and there's a lot more at risk. So I'm excited though.
Yeah, you are in many sports sort of thing. We talked about basketball, the track and field, and like other thing. You were involved with hockey. So yeah, with the Brookfield Elks Nova Scotia Junior Hockey League. I guess, was there ever a thought to drop hockey, drop basketball, drop track and field, and completely focus on combat sport?
There has been thoughts going through my mind usually of focusing on combat sports over everything else and prioritizing it, but I feel like what I've come to was after my high school is over, I feel like I'm going to commit to it as my main sport, because I want to experience my grade 12 senior year sports first, and I'm prioritizing those over my combat right now. And combat sports, it's all season, so there's no days off there.
Yeah, it's pretty much a 365 days a year sort of thing. So obviously
Exactly, yeah.
you've got a lot of goals that you'd like to do in it. So basically tell the viewers what your goals are with combat sport, how far you want to take it, and what's next for you possibly in it.
I feel like my main goal is I want to start doing like combining all of my combat sports into one. And there's a I don't know if program's the right word, but I'm not sure if you're familiar with FLA, Fight League Atlantic.
I've heard of
You know
it,
what I mean?
yes. Yeah.
I'd like to start training to get some mixed martial arts fights there. So striking, kicking, and like stuff like that. And I'd like to start training there and work my way up in that, and I feel like that would mean a lot to me, and that's kind of been my main goal. But I got to get good at the basics first, and then I can put them all together.
You're a pretty good-looking guy. Are you ever concerned about like losing some of your good looks being in combat sport?
no, no, I haven't been thinking about that. No, I mean, breaking my nose is kind of concerning, but I just kind of hope that day doesn't come. But I'm sure it's kind of inevitable at this point if I keep on going where I'm going.
What's the worst injury that you've had so far in it?
The worst injury that I've ever had in combat sports was probably I popped my ankle out of socket, and then they had to put it back in during later that match because it was. But I feel like the most injuries that I've ever gotten was from hockey over actual combat sports, which is kind of funny because combat sports is directed to trying to hurt someone, but hockey it's just rough.
On one side, you have hockey. They have gear. They have head protection. They have cages. And on the other side, you have combat sport, no protection, no anything, and you've got more injuries in hockey than you have combat. That's an interesting piece.
Yeah, I mean, in hockey, I've broken my humerus, dislocated my shoulder, I've gotten concussions definitely, and I've in combat sports, I think the worst is probably the ankle and then a concussion. So I feel like hockey's definitely a little bit heavier on the scale for injuries there.
Okay, so in the summer, we'll say summer, you're graduating from SCA. You're going to walk across the stage. What are your future scholastic post-secondary goals coming up after you graduate?
I feel like I'm already going to St. Mary's University in the city. I've already committed there, so I'm taking a Bachelor of Science, and I feel like I'm going to take that first year to kind of explore and experience and really figure out what I want to do, because I feel like the closer it gets, the less I kind of know of what I want to do. So I'm kind of hoping in the future, and I've definitely been thinking about it, but I'm hoping in the future it really starts to fall into place and I kind of know what I want to pursue.
Well, this has been fantastic, and you've been fantastic as well. It was a delight to meet you in person and find out about combat sport, learn about it, and I learned some things here tonight, and I think our viewers will as well. Waylon Countway, thank you for your time. D2 basketball provincials tomorrow. Good luck with it, and as I said, drop me a line. Let me know how SCA Wolves make out.
Thank you very much, Dan. I will.
Thank you. Waylon Countway from the SCA Wolves, as well as combat sports, and he's also done some track and field. And as I said, if you or your company is interested in sponsoring in school, please feel free to reach out at danhobson12 or by email hobsondan@hotmail.com to discuss the benefits of sponsoring your show, helping showcase athletes in northern Nova Scotia area and help reach their scholastic and athletic goals. So for Waylon Countway, my name is Dan Hobson. Thank you for tuning in to In School, and we'll see you in 7 days.